Yo, this Dex, also known as Dexter.LAB. You can reach me at IG on Dex.ART.LAB. And from there, you can kind of see how I do things. Coming from there, man, I've been doing art, man, ever since probably about 4 or 5 years old. Used to draw cartoons, play video games all day long with my uncles and some of my cousins. So ever since then, I used to just stay playing video games and also drawing at the same time. Are they ready, man?
They ain't ready. Working, man. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. He over here working.
Also got my famous Baby Kids, man. I think Baby Kids is probably like one of the dopest cartoons that came out as a black kid growing up. It was like one of those things that I really did appreciate. And after a while, man, I just kept watching, and it was always one of those things where I wanted to, just kind of show off. And it reminds me of all my childhood memories and everything like that too as well. So I wanted to, bring it to life, kind of show people what the cartoon was about. Got Leon right there. Some people may know, some people may not know, but if you know, you know. Right? And then of course, Knucklehead. Got the Leaf right here. Leaf was always one of my favorite characters too. Always wanted to dress like him and everything, just in the show anyway. Alright.
Okay. Got the panty dropper.
Alright, so I showed you a couple of pieces that I actually got started with. After I got the ball rolling and everything, this piece right here I actually did for myself, and my homeboy actually wanted it for him to put up in his apartment. So, did it, kind of showed it off, got inspired by a piece I seen some time ago with somebody holding some shoes, and I was like, man, that'll be dope. So the funny story about this one is I actually burnt a hole in it because originally it had a wrinkle in there. So I got my heat gun, was trying to go across it, and for some reason this one caught. I don't know why, but that little piece right there caught, and it's got a little hole in it now. But that's my little funny story with this one right here. But it's still a pretty solid piece. May do something with it later, who knows.
Well, show 'em what you working on, man.
More work right there. Change the color up. Navy.
That boy working. Trademark TV coming soon.
And with this piece, this was one of my first pieces that I actually worked on when I first got back into art, or just actually being more serious with it in the fine arts. Got the retro ones there, and then also a little afterwards, did the retro 6s too. I keep these because they kind of inspire me to stay on track of everything. And during the time, it just, like the process of everything, it just kept me going. So I'm never gonna sell these two. These are my babies right here. And after that, I started to get a little bit more into the digital world. And this one right here, I actually drew it on my iPad. And drawing this one on the iPad, it was one of the first pair of lips that I worked on. Got t-shirts and things like that on my website. You can also still find that on my IG page. Got the link in there too. And from there, man, I just, stuck with it. And the digital art actually came to life. It looks pretty darn good. A lot of people don't really know about this show, but I actually love this show too as well. This one is C-Bear and Jamal. C-Bear and Jamal used to come on Saturdays, man, and it had Tone Loc on there talking for actual C-Bear. The C-Bear is right here. And a lot of those who don't know, Tone Loc also, he spoke for Pee-wee on Baby Kids as well. So if you listen to his voice, it's pretty raspy and everything, but it reminded me a lot of like 90s hip hop, 90s, you know what I'm saying? A lot of just basically anything 90s, So I wanted to stick with the 90s theme on a lot of my art that I actually do as far as cartoons. Speaking of 90s, also got a Friday joint right here. This was one of the digital pieces that I did. And with this digital piece right here, this was like a chopped up scene. I kind of found the picture of the picture and kind of put them together and just kind of made a picture that kind of looked good. you know. This might trip out a lot of people, but you know, I had to do The Simpsons. Simpsons was a cool show growing up, man. It, you know, reminded me a lot of the pop art inspirations and things like that that were going on, man, and you know, in the comic books and things like that. So I had to do something with the pop art, pay attention and get a little closer. You see that Homer actually has some of the pop art dots in there. I did that purposely because, you know, like I said, I love pop art and I love the art of The Simpsons. And my man got the water balloons, you know, about to go somewhere, going somewhere with that one. And then, of course, got Badass. The Badass right here, I did the same kind of concept. Got the dots and everything inside of him. But he also got that retro Super Soaker inside too, man. Like, you gotta have one of them if you ain't got one. Or even if you're still looking for it. Still hot outside, so it's probably the perfect time to get you one. And so with this whole project too as well, man, I'm doing something where everybody is fighting against one another as far as water balloons and, you know, water gun fights and things like that, what we used to do in the summertime. So, you know, like I said, a lot of this stuff is going back to like my childhood memories. And, you know, I kind of want to bring that to life with some of the things that I like to do and also some of the favorite cartoons that I like as well. So I also got Marge, Lisa, and Maggie coming soon. So be on the lookout for those. If you guys are looking for the prints, they'll be on my site too as well. And or you can always hit me up on my IG page too. I also have Marvin Gaye as well that I actually was working on too. Don't want to show you guys too much stuff because I still have work to do. And with that being said, man, I was inspired by this one too because I used to listen to him all the time with my parents and my grandparents and things like that. And my stepdad actually introduced me to him on the California Raisins. And with the California Raisins, they were, you know, kind of singing Grapevine song. And I love the song and I love the Raisins, so I was just like, man, you know, you gotta stick with the concept of it. But nah, man, like this one has a lot of sentimental values to me too as well. These are things that I'm actually loving to do with my favorites too. Alright, so this is my world right here. Also my studio. I also created all of the artwork for Trademark TV. He usually posts some of my work for me too. He tagged me on a lot of things as well. This is pretty much my world right here. This is where I get down at. Again, I appreciate you guys for checking out the video if you had the time to check it out. You guys can find me at Dexter Morton on Facebook or Dexter Morton, that's M-O-R-T-O-N, Morton. And or you can also find me on Instagram. That's Dex.ART.LAB. And from there, like I said, you can find a website. You can see some of the art collection there too as well. And you know, just kind of hit me up whenever you need like a commission piece. Don't do a whole lot of commissions, but you know, I'll work with something if you hit me up.